What's up, y'all? It's Mike Venus. I'm back. Hope y'all doing good. Y'all blessed out there, right? So, I appreciate the love that I'm getting on the streaming service or the different social media platforms, and the reaction to me making drill on the Akai Force. I was asked the question in one of the comments on one of my videos to go into the topic about sound selection. So I'm gonna go into it. Now, I'm gonna say no. I'm not gonna tell you about sound selection because where the genre has evolved, it's literally you could put anything that is remotely melodic, moody, dark. That could be anything, and make that into your harmony or melody. You know, um, and another reason why I say I'm not gonna really touch that topic is because number one, I'm not as privileged at this moment to have the the sample or sound libraries as most of these producers that make the genre. They have one, they use a DAW, a DAW, preferably FL. Um, I've seen a few people do Ableton, some Logic, some in GarageBand, um, that sound really good, and some in some DAWs I never heard of. But the main one I seen where these guys really be like, they be doing it is FL. So if you want to go to the DAW route, I'll suggest use FL. Um, Also, some of the third party plugins they use, a lot of them use a lot of native instruments, contact libraries, like um like the piano, the orchestra type sounds for like violins, cellos, all those type of instruments. And it really based off the mood you're trying to create because like I said, my sound is generated off of a vibe, okay? And even though, like I said, I studied the origins of it, started in Chicago, which had a more trappish feel. Then when it went to the UK, that around Europe, that area, it got a little bit more influence with the Afro beat um, type rhythms with the hi hats and the off cadence with the snare or the stick, and the glides, the bass glides, and now you got it in New York where it's more sample based, and you know it has a different flavor. You got it playing in other parts of the world as well. So each place has their own energy, their own vibe that they bring to it. Me, I live in Florida, so you know, not in New York, damn sure not in Europe. I wouldn't mind visiting, and I don't live in Chicago, so my sound might be totally different from New York, Chicago, UK, and any other place where this music is made. Um, if we was asking about influences or people I study the most, for the most part, I study the UK producers. Um, it's very hard to listen to find there a lot of those like different songs and beats on some of the social media platforms because of censorship. Um, but I'm more interested, more or less, in the actual production part of it. So, any of the videos you do your research, you might find them like Ghosty, was it BK, N1 on the beat, Jay Cutlass, or Jay Cactus, excuse me. Um, Chunky Beats, he do it. Ocean. Um, Damn, who the other dude? TG Tracks, I think it's Tracks. TG, he does it, and they go really in this, but they're more UK based. So I watch them more or less because A lot of them do tutorials, or they do interviews, or they have, you know, things set up where they have them making a beat, and I watch them and I study that. So I might have some of those influences, but more or less, um, I'm gonna have my own flavor. You know what I'm saying? And you should have your own flavor too. And really, the gear that you use will determine somewhat of the flavor that you have. You know, if you use more, if you got more of a acoustic type sound, right? Um, Type instrument library or access to VSTs like that, that might affect your sound more. You have people who use guitar or guitar VSTs. You got people who use more synth bass. I got a Akai Force. Most of the sounds in here are synth bass, you know. So more or less my version of it or my flavor of it might be more synthy. If I had other synthesizers or, you know, that might change my sound as well. So really that depends on you, what type of gear you have for your overall sound. But to kind of get you in the right direction, the music is made in minor scales, and there's plenty of them, okay? The Force comes with several. You know, you got your major modes like Dorian, Phrygian, Aeolian, Locrian. Then you have a few exotic ones like the Gypsy, Hungry Gypsy, you know, that has a different flavor to it. I got the Launchpad Pro Mark III. It's got some minor scales on there as well. I know the Launchpad Pro 1 has more scales than this. So, you know, experiment, try it out and see what sounds good. You know, keep it simple and, you know, don't make it too full because when you listen, depending on where you listen from, like I said, I listen to a lot of the UK stuff. It's pretty stripped down. It's pretty simple. And, you know, once you get the basics of it, you find your own sound. You got your own cadence or patterns that you put together. You off and running. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way I can go about speaking on this subject of sound design. Or sound selection. Because, like I said, I work in standalone gear in the Akai Force, which, like I stated before, was marketed more to EDM type producers and DJs, and it has more sounds geared towards that. So, you know, I have to create a lot of my sounds. I have to create a lot of my samples, or I have to kind of like make it do what it do with some of the sounds that they have that might be more close to what the genre sound like, you know. But I do me, you know, and I'll advise you to do you. So let's recap. Number one, study the different places, whatever one resonate with you, start out with that. You know what I'm saying? What resonated with me, UK producers, I study them. Some people might be Chicago, some might be New York, okay? Secondly, whatever DAW or hardware you might be using, learn it. And if you're watching any of those producers that from those genres and those particular areas that you like, learn the terminology that they use and try to translate it to what you do, okay? Because it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Akai was trying to make this to target towards producers that make hip hop or drill, but hopefully I might be a pioneer of that with the Force, and hey, you know, that might inspire other people to get this machine and do the same thing. But you don't have to do this. You can do it on any DAW or any hardware. You just gotta figure it out. So number two. Number three, use what you have. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my sound is gonna sound different from your sound. I know my sound gonna sound different from the places I named before because of what I'm using and what I like to make and my own energy towards it. You know what I'm saying? It's totally different. So, you know, hey, might be the pioneer of Florida drill. We don't know. We'll see. And yeah, and minor keys. minor keys, minor scales, minor modes, you know, experiment, find which ones that you like, what gives you that energy or the vibe that you resonate with, and then just find your sound and start composing. Start putting this shit together. You got you a beat. You know what I'm saying? It's not really hard. This is a pretty simple, straightforward genre, you know, and you add your own little flair and finesse to it. You don't know, you might have a lot of people vibing with you. So that's what I want to speak on because I was asked that question about sound selection, and after thinking on it, I was came to this conclusion. You know, so with that, you already know. Subscribe, follow, share, like, comment. Let me know what type of drill music you favor. If it's Chicago, the UK, New York, or you even like what I'm doing, and I'm in Florida. Okay, for anybody out there, or if you're from another part of the world and you want to say, hey, we make drill over here too. They make it in shit. They make it everywhere. Put where you from. Let us know. We can figure out what you do. You know, share your links if you want to in the comment section. I'll go check it out. You know, and with that, y'all be blessed. See you the next time. Mike out.